الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Unfortunately, this is my last night with you. I have a couple of things that I want to share with you. One is a lot of you have requested a list of websites that are useful. I've been showing some kind of almost like music videos for these different no'as and stuff like that. So I've made a short list of useful websites, and I have some photocopies. I handed some out already. If you haven't gotten one, then I have some extra copies. We are towards the end of this story of Isa alayhi salam. Alhamdulillah, we've been able to get through the entire story of Isa in the Quran. I'm really hoping that you come away with a greater understanding of who he was and what kinds of teachings we can learn from the story. What we need to do today is to finish up this the fifth section of the story, which is his interaction with the Bani Israel, the conspiracies and the plots that the Bani Israel were planning for him. We're going to see a couple more verses about that, and then we're going to skip all the way ahead. We don't really know anything from that point on until the Day of Judgment. Right? So we're going to skip to the Day of Judgment and see a certain episode that's narrated in the Quran of a conversation that goes on between Allah and the Day of Judgment. I have to kind of look behind you. What verse is it?
We'll do like 3 verses at once.
Okay, so this is where we were. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَقَوْلِهِمْ إِنَّا قَتَلْنَا الْمَسِيحَ عِيسَى ابْنَ مَرْيَمَ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. I read the Arabic yesterday. Let me go to the English translation. And only a few of them shall believe because they claimed, we killed the Messiah, Jesus son of Mary, the messenger of God, though they did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, but so it was made to appear to them. Those who differ over him are steeped in doubt about him. They do not have any knowledge about him and only chase conjectures, but they definitely did not kill him. Alright, so this very well says what the Bani Israel intended to, what they thought they had done. And so they saw that Jesus was claiming to be the Messiah. We talked about what the Messiah means, the one who's appointed as either the king or who's blessed. But there are these prophecies that the Bani Israel had, and they're waiting for the Messiah to come. When he comes, they're disappointed. And the same thing repeats itself. The Jews maintained the Sunnah, and when our prophet was supposed to come, again they had the prophecies that there was going to be this prophet who will come up in Mecca. And so they settle around Mecca and Medina. That's why we have Khaybar, and that's why we have Fadak, and these cities, these fortified cities. They were Jewish cities, and the Jews had moved there specifically so they could be the first to believe in this new prophet that's been predicted, that's been foretold. But then again, they repeat their same ineptitude to recognize the truth and their inability to follow the truth. As soon as the prophet comes and they realize, oh, he's Arab, right? They come up with their own excuse. They say, no, he can't be the same one. And so they're the first to await him, and they're the first to reject him. One of the lessons in there for us is that we don't want to be the same way when our awaited one comes. Let us not be like the Bani Israel, where we have all the prophecies, every day we're praying, Allahumma kulli waliyaka al-hujjat al-hasan, we're praying all these prayers, and then when he comes, right, we're told in the prophecies that it'll be as though he's bringing a new religion. Right, because Islam will have kind of degraded so much, it'll be so far from the Islam that the Prophet originally taught. When Imam Mahdi comes to renew the message, people will feel like, this is something new, this isn't the same Islam that we know. So let us not be amongst those who follow a degraded Islam and who are then shocked when Imam Mahdi comes back, that we follow the footsteps of these Jews and reject him when he comes. Again, we have prophecy that says that some of the Shia will be the first to reject him. Right? So again, make sure that we are not those. did you laugh? It's just imagine. I can't imagine it. I know where it should be. What can we do to prevent ourselves from being like that? And certainly, again, another lesson we can learn from Karbala is that if we can do things differently than the way the Kufans did it. And the Kufans, they had a lot of problems, like all the way back to the time of Ali alayhi salam. But one of the mistakes they made specifically with Imam Hussein was that they didn't take Imam Hussein's representative seriously enough. Right, who did he send first? He sent Muslim ibn Aqil as his representative. Right. Muslim ibn Aqil had plenipotentiary power to take the bay'ah on behalf of Imam Hussein. And so he does that, he tests the waters, he gets the allegiance from at least 18,000 people, maybe more, from Kufa. And then within a matter of days, like maybe 2 days or 3 days, all 18,000 are gone. They abandon him. Possibly what's in their mind is that, oh, he's not really the Imam, he's just a representative of the Imam. Right? When the Imam comes, then we'll support him. But as soon as they start betraying, they start making up excuses for themselves, it becomes easier and easier. They start thinking more about their own protection, their own lives, their own families, and so forth. And they end up basically like going and killing the Imam they pledge allegiance to. We have representatives of the Imams now. The Mujtahids, the Fuqaha are the people who stand in place of the Imams. In our times, they are the Wali. The same wilayah that Allah has over us is transferred to the Prophet, is transferred to the Imams, and in their absence is transferred to the Fuqaha, to the Mujtahids, to our Marj al-Taqleed. If we're taking them lightly, if we're taking their fatwas lightly, then we're no different than the Kufans, we're no different than the Bani Israel. And who's to say that if we take the representative lightly, then what guarantee do we have that we'll take the real thing like properly? Right? So let's not set ourselves up for following the footsteps of these people. So what did they say? We killed the Messiah, Jesus son of Mary. Allah, He corrects them and says, no, they didn't. They did not kill Him, nor did they crucify Him. And He separates these two because they're two separate punishments. Right? Crucifixion doesn't necessarily mean death. You could possibly crucify someone as torture, nail them up there or tie them up there, let them stay for a day or two and then bring them down. That's possible for exemplary punishment or for something else. Right? So he negates both. Not only did they not crucify Him, they also didn't kill Him. But it was made to appear so to them. Right? So they thought they saw Jesus on the cross. The Jews felt happy that their plot had succeeded because they had betrayed Jesus to the Romans. They kind of made all these accusations that Jesus is this and that, he's a criminal. So the Roman governor, right? The Roman government then comes and supposedly captures him. We don't know exactly what happens to him. Okay? We don't know exactly what happens to him. Whether there's some traditions that say that somebody stood in his place. And some of the traditions kind of follow the Christian story a little bit and say that it was Judas. Right? Judas was one of the 12 disciples who, even according to the biblical story, betrayed him. And we also have a hadith to reflect that. So I really can't evaluate that that's really the story, or if that's just one of the Israeliyat that was carried over from Christianity. But in any case, what we do know is that he wasn't killed. And that it simply appeared to them as though he was killed. Whether that means that Allah He made it an illusion, and He changed what they saw, which He can do. And He can make them see something, they think they see something when it's not really there. He could do that to them. Or he put someone else in his place that looked like him. On the cross, after someone's beaten for days and is in that sort of a state, you can't really tell the difference.